Guys, welcome back to the New Elite Podcast. Today we have a special episode where you guys at home, the viewers, have sent me voice notes on Instagram for questions you want answered. We have broken them down into business, fitness, and women. Starting with women, let's take it away. I'll give you my best advice, and let's begin this Q&A. Maximus, what's my first question?
Okay, the first question is from Ecom Hens.
Hey Jack, I'm 24 years old. I live in Dubai for like 2.5 years now, something like that. I live with my girlfriend, which is what I wanted to talk about. I do personal brand and some other things, but the business did very, very well the last couple of months. But to be honest, especially in a city like this, right, where everything is hustle, get better, go to the gym, do all of these things, I just find it very, very hard when I live with my girlfriend. It's just so easy for me to do the bare minimum because just living with my girlfriend, I guess I already have the answer, but maybe you can share some thoughts on this.
This is your answer to that question. There's 3 different stages that you can go into. Number 1 is like the single bachelor and you spend a fuck ton of time dating, going out, you party more than you should. And this is very bad for business and growth. This one is like kind of the worst stage to be at in terms of living situation. It's like constantly needing female validation, not having a girlfriend and dating a lot. And you get pretty much way less standard of performance when you live this kind of way. Number 2 is the situation that you are in right now. You no longer go out and party and you've managed to have some business success and you've found a woman that you like, but you also feel held back because you are surrounded day to day by feminine energy. That's all you spend your time with. And whether you like it or not, a feminine energy is designed to care for you. And when you are given excessive care, you become weaker. It is natural. The easiest choice is constantly available and you are addicted to it. So of course you're going to take that cheap, easy validation of the girlfriend that you're with rather than doing the extra work as if you were in a household of killers. And that leads me on to number 3. The ultimate setup is to no longer need female validation, to no longer need to date, to have an abundance of women you can call upon if you need, or a girlfriend that does not live with you and live with guys that are in the same business, on the same grind, that can push you forward or to live on your own. They're your options. My option for you right now, the number 1 rule is never live with a girlfriend. Never live with your girlfriend if you want to have your ultimate masculine potential. Your life should be like a fight camp. I'm in boxing fight camp right now. Your life should be designed that way. Life should feel like a fight camp. There is no women in fight camp. You do not have a woman that lives inside the house for fight camp that is your girlfriend. And that is what your life is like. Although it doesn't feel like competition, everything is competition. And if you can design your life to be the most competitive and you find your fulfillment from discipline, from hard work, and from building yourself, you will actually be more fulfilled and you'll be more attractive to your girlfriend. So my best advice for you would be find a girlfriend somewhere else to live if you really like her, if you're really into her, and start to live on your own and have her in a separate place and see her on the weekends. You need to have that focus, that discipline through the week, and then you can go and see the girlfriend. That would be my advice to you.
Okay, the next question is from Eric.
Basically, how would you act if you had the perfect girl in your eyes, but it took too long to realize it and you didn't show her enough love and you ended up breaking up with her and now you're wondering how you should go about it, because you're the one who fucked it up, not the other person. So how would you go about finding that person again, or if it's even worth it to fight for it? Because I really think I lost the perfect girl, man.
There's normally a reason, Eric, why you have broken up in the first place, and you probably weren't wrong, but what you're not experienced with is the fact that after you break up with a girl, you're going to get rose-tinted shades. This means that the life has a way of making pain go away and only remembering the sweet parts, okay? So you broke up with a girl. There was obviously problems. You wouldn't have broke up. You made a mistake, whatever. Over time, you forget about all the pain that came with that relationship and you only remember the good. Our bodies are designed to do this, so we do hard things again. Because if we were just designed to remember pain, we wouldn't do a lot of the things that we need to do. So we forget pain and we remember the good things that happened. Now, if you're not experienced with women and you don't know that this mind trick is going to happen, then you get caught in the position you're at now where you feel like you lost a good thing. In my life, and this sounds completely selfish, and I understand that, but I am the good thing, okay? In my life, I know that I am the number one. I am the positive to everyone that I am around. and you must become that. So I would recommend not trying to get this girl back, not doing any reach out, any contact. Don't try and get her back. Become a better version of you. Use the pain to become a better version of you. Now, 2 things will happen. Number 1, you become a better version of you. You find purpose and discipline. You realize at this stage in your life, you don't actually need to have a woman hold your hand through all of this. You have got your fulfillment through what you're doing as a man. Then you will find, once you no longer need said woman, she probably wants to come back anyway, and it is your choice whether or not you decide to take her back. But you should not be going out there and framing yourself incorrectly, because this is what happens to a lot of guys. They mess up. They frame themselves below the woman to get her back, so they give all the power away, and they make a lot of exceptions, okay? So she'll say, oh, well, you made this mistake, so now I need to do this, this, and this. I only know this because I did it before. I once had a girlfriend. I kissed another girl in the club, and I got caught on camera in the nightclub kissing another girl whilst my girlfriend was away. And then she saw it on the nightclub photos. And I was very weak at the time. She was kind of the only good thing I had going for me. So I then said, okay, I just want you back. I'll do anything. And I let her have like phone tracking on my phone. Like, I've done all this shit. It's not, I'm not saying any of this nastily. I'm saying it because I have experience with it. But I let her track my phone. I let her be way too controlling, and I got the girl back. And in the end, after like a year and a half later, I broke up with her anyway. Why? Because I realized my value far outweighed, and I wanted to go on to bigger things in my life. But I only realized that through making the mistake. So don't do what I've done, and work on yourself. There's so many more women out there. Your idea of a perfect woman will change throughout your life. You'll realize the women you dated at the start you thought were perfect are actually nowhere near perfect as you get more experience. So I hope that helps, Eric.
Well, next one, we've got a business question from Bushy Fit.
In your humble opinion, why is 0 to 10k and 0 to 10,000 followers the hardest? And how did you make sure you turned up every single day to make sure you achieved this goal? And just a follow-up from that one, what specific actions or mindsets made the biggest difference in gaining traction early on?
Okay. 0 to 10k is actually the easiest, I would say, because you do not have a choice at the start. There is nowhere else to go. So for me, it was make it work, or there was no plan B. That's what made it easier. What was harder was reaching 100k, reaching success, and then realigning with a new purpose in order to get to the next level. That was more difficult for me. At the start, if you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing else to do. What you have to do is build a program and follow it consistently. I have a program that I give guys inside of the New Elite, inside of Icon Blueprint, an exact formula to social media, how to post. All you have to do is show up and it will work. It is proven. I'll give you a little insight into the things you can do. If you follow these, you will find success with social media. Post on Instagram stories 5 to 15 times a day, even if it's the same thing every day. The reason why? Showing your own discipline, your own life transformation, and turning up every single day makes other people have trust in you. It makes them realize that you can do something that they can't, and that's show up every day, which not many people can do. You show them the same things, the same wake up, the same routine. You tell them when you're struggling, and you overcome those struggles through your personal brand. That is not a difficult thing to do. It is a difficult thing to do. That's not a complex thing to do. It's very simple. It just requires discipline. It just requires overcoming fear and having some discipline. Then you need to grow your social media. You need to be found by people who use Reels. You need a real content strategy in order to go viral and then funnel these people into your stories so they can learn about you. Then you need to leverage carousels, Instagram posts to build basically a relation with your audience, tell stories through your carousels. And then we have a whole back-end system that we use to generate leads and offers and build all of this stuff out, which you can find out about my programs if you're interested. Book a free strategy call with one of my team. We can teach you all about it. But that's basically how you start. And for me at the start, I didn't have that program. All I knew is I had to show up every day. All I knew is I had to post every day. And if I didn't, it was so painful, my reality, if I didn't make it work, that it was my only option and I burnt all other bridges. If you make life too comfortable for yourself, if you don't go all in on the thing that you really want, you will not do it because you have a comfortable life that you don't want to lose. If the alternative to you winning on social media, the alternative to you starting a business is absolute failure, you will make it work 100%.
Perfect. The next question is from Ben.
What is the biggest mental barrier that you have overcome? How did you overcome it? And why are you proud that you overcame it?
Getting out of my own way. That is normally the biggest problem we all have. We all think far too much and take way too little action. For me, my greatest periods of success have come when I stopped thinking and I started doing. When I stopped repeating to myself and thinking about worst case scenarios. When I focus on just the inputs that I can do every single day. That was the most difficult thing for me. That has plagued me from the beginning to the point I'm at now. You have to think less and do more. You have to get real world data. Real world data for you. That you can actually see if something is working and go and put the actions in. If you think about things, if you talk about things, if you ask people about things, if you constantly need reassurance, you will not make it. You have to have an idea, execute idea, find the data, slightly readjust path, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. That's what leads to success. For me, it's all about getting my mind under control, feeling disciplined, feeling aligned, feeling confident in myself by consistently showing up. And that becomes a flywheel effect. You become more and more and more confident in your ability. That allows you to act quicker. The quicker you can act, the quicker you become successful. It is as simple as that.
Okay, the next question is from Archie.
Where do you find people that are 18 to 21 that are currently doing business to go network with, hang out with, and be around? Every single entrepreneur I've seen to me all over my travels across the whole world are 25 or older.
These entrepreneurs are obviously a lot rarer to find than 25-year-old and up entrepreneurs because people, it seems like everyone's an 18-year-old millionaire. It's actually very, very rare. It's very rare that most people have their mind developed and under control by that age to the point they can do business. So you're naturally trying to find quite a rare thing. The 0.1% of the 1% is 18 to 25 if you actually look at the whole world. So when you're traveling around, naturally finding these people is very, very difficult. They are in hubs. They are in groups. That's why we created the New Elite, the Icon Blueprint. We literally gather. In New Elite, we have probably 150 18 to 25-year-old very successful entrepreneurs. We have over 350 members, but in that age range, young guys, they have exactly the same problem. That's why we built New Elite. If they want to find other guys on the same age to book villas, to fly private with, to hang out with, to share business advice, it's very hard to find. So they go into groups, and that's what we've created in New Elite, or Icon. The other thing I would say is, why are you worried? For me, I've spent the majority of my life hanging out with people older than me because they had more success. They had more to teach me. There's no problem. Like, I don't even really see age when I speak to someone. I base them on their character. So for most people, for me, when I was 18, I was already hanging out with guys that were 26, 27 years old because they were the only guys mentally on my level, whereas most 18-year-olds that I knew were not doing anything or had any aspirations or any goals at that point. So I would say look at it two ways. There is a massive benefit to joining networks and joining groups. You can have a look into ours, you can have a look into others. There's a massive benefit to surrounding yourself quickly with the people you want to be around. But also, why are you concerned? Why don't you just hang out with guys that are older than you and more successful than you, that you have found on your travels, who you can learn from? Why is the age such a big deal?
Okay, the next question is from Neo.
I'm 19. I've built my personal brand over the past 6 to 9 months around discipline, self-awareness, becoming dangerous as a man, similar to yourself. I've watched your content strategy. I know my brand purpose. I know my content pillars. But where I'm stuck is structuring my offer in a way that actually feels fulfilling. Right? I do not want to feel like I'm just hand-holding weak men or I'm being a glorified life coach. And I want to build something that challenges people in the way that I continuously challenge myself. You know, I want to build something that has depth, you know, that has meaning and real transformation. And my question would be, how do you find the sweet spot between what the market wants and what actually lights you up to deliver? So my offer will feel like it's something that's purposeful and not just like I'm babysitting people.
You've actually got the answer. You've just told us the answer. And I actually believe what you're saying is what people want. People don't want to feel like they're being babysat. That comes from the coach. You have the right mindset to be a coach because you want to deliver real value. You want to challenge people. Now, what you have to do when you bring someone in is you have to frame. You have to frame the same as in a relationship. You have to frame as a coach. I am not here to handhold you. I am here to help you, but you are going to make this a success on your own. You have to build that into the ethos of the brand. and into the marketing. Whereas a lot of people that end up stuck, it's because of this reason. They make the transformation seem easy because that's what they've been told to do. They say, look, make it seem like they're going to get abs in 30 days using just these tips. And then you get a shit ton of people come in that expect results with no work. What you have to do is get to people on a level with your marketing where they are joining you for that reason. They are joining you because you're not just another coach. They're joining you because you're going to push them. They're joining you because you're not a babysitter. That is what you need to build. That is actually what high-level guys want. They don't want to be babysat. And you have to call your clients out on their excuses just because they're a client. Do not let them get away with shit. A lot of people are so worried to lose clients, so unabundant in the money that they make, that they let their clients walk all over them, which in turn loses them their clients. If a client comes back to me with a bullshit response, if I'm coaching a guy in personal brand and he says, oh, I'm tired, I'm a little bit tired after work, how am I going to fit this all in? I laugh at them and I say, what are you saying right now? You think I'm not tired when I get back from training boxing? You think I'm not tired at the end of the day? I don't want to post a reel. I don't want to get on videos. This is what it takes. And it's better. It's far, far better to do that in a business that you like than to just turn up and be bored at a 9 to 5. So what are you complaining about? Pull your fucking big boy pants up and go out there and make it work. And you have to put people in their place like that. And what they normally say is, thank you, man. I needed someone to just fucking tell me how it is. And what happens is they then go and do the work when they're tired. And what happens when you do work when you're tired? You feel fucking good. Not only do you then get the work done, but you normally have some extra spirit. You've done something hard you didn't want to do. And instead of being a weak little pussy, you went and got it done. And now you feel like, fuck, maybe I'll get another thing done and another thing. And you realize, and this is what this is all about, you realize you were operating far under your potential the entire time. That's what all of this is about. Helping men realize their potential in any of the coaching space. Being the person that gives them a firm hand on the shoulder and says, you can do it, brother. It's going to be hard, but you need to knuckle down. You need to get it done when you're tired. You need to get it done when you're sick. That's what it's all about. And that's why I love this space, because that brings something out of someone. That brings out the real inside of someone. And that's good coaching.
The next question is from Harry.
What conditions do you think must be met before you can then move abroad with your business?
This is entirely up to you. I moved abroad with a business that wasn't really making any money, with just savings, knowing that they would run out, because I had self-belief in my ability to make it work. So it is entirely up to you. It depends entirely on what you think you can do. Would I move out to another country with zero money? Me personally, no. I had about 10,000, I can't remember if it was pounds or dollars, between $10,000 and $15,000 saved. Okay, and I knew on average, okay, I'm going to spend 2 to 3 a month. So I got a few months to make shit work. That's what I would recommend. If you really, for me, it was like the benefits of moving would build the entire business. That's what it meant for me, because it gave me a story. It gave me a hero's journey. It gave me something to document as a content creator. My entire business is content. My entire business is self-improvement, is personal development. What better way to start that business than to go on a journey to develop myself and show other people? So for me, it was the business. It was like the investment was the business. This was the startup capital needed to start the venture. Now, depending on what your business is, you then need to have a look and see, is this going to benefit the business? If your business runs from anywhere in the world and you're just taking a massive risk for no reason to go to another part of the world, have a think about it. Is that the right thing to do? But at any of the content stuff, going on a journey, anything that develops you personally, I think is always worth the risk. Once you've got to a point where you've got a few months sustained income, you've got a few months of cash in the bank to make things work, and then you've got to go and fucking hustle hard.
Okay, we're just moving on to fitness and boxing questions now.
Perfect.
First question is from Charles.
What's up, Jack? What's your opinion on hard sparring? And like, as in, how many times a week do you think it's necessary to level up? And how important do you think it is overall to improve as a boxer?
Sparring is 100% necessary and is the number one thing you can do to become a good boxer, good at jiu-jitsu, good at MMA, any of these things. It is doing the act. It actually teaches you things, and then you go and practice what you were bad on in sparring. I think you need to spar at least 2 or 3 times a week. Now, hard sparring, 100% sparring, should very rarely happen. You should very rarely be going in the ring with the risk of being knocked out and having serious head trauma, because that's not going to be good for you overall on a long enough time frame. But technical sparring, up to 70% sparring, is very, very beneficial. Get a head guard if you don't want your face getting too bashed up and you don't have any head butts, so you don't get any cuts. Get a groin guard and get in there, wear 16-ounce gloves, and I don't see any issue with sparring. I actually believe it's the best thing you can do technically. The other best things you can do for boxing is heavy bag work, where you film yourself after doing heavy bag, get your coach to then correct the issues that you're doing and run drills on heavy bag. That's going to give you a lot of stamina and a lot of power in your punches. The heavy bag is probably number 2 on the best training after sparring. And then after that, you got your long distance runs, and shadow boxing are sort of your best things that you can do. But sparring, I'm a big advocate for sparring. How are you going to fight if you've never fought? A lot of people also say you fight how you spar. So I would, when you go into a round of sparring, try to win the round. It sounds silly, but most people go in and just go through the paces. They don't try and win the round. If you never try and win the round, how do you expect to try and win on fight night? And this is something I've done. You just go in and you're sort of tapping about, but think in your head, okay, has he hit me more times than I've hit him? Has he put me down? Okay, I need to put him down. You need to be winning every round of sparring. Then you will win every round in your fight.
Okay, perfect. The next question is from Swaggers AI.
How do you deal with setbacks? Let's say you're going on a good track, you're running every day, you're working out every day, you're eating healthy, and then you have a setback. Like you go to a party or you go to a wedding or you go out and you stop being as consistent. What is your way to get back in the groove of things? How do you get out of this rut?
Those setbacks are actually completely self-made. So I'll teach you 2 things. One about non-self-made setbacks, which is more of what I experience now, especially in a fight camp. But previously I've done that, so I'll give you an answer. But non-self-made setbacks, something such as illness or injury, how do you recover from that? Because that was out of your control. For me, you do what you can do whilst you're ill or injured, and you don't stop turning up. That is the most important thing. So right now I'm actually a bit sick. I've been sick for a couple of days. Just happens sometimes. You get a bit of flu, training a lot more than usual. That's fine. My process is I'm getting IV drips to the house, which is good because I'm in Dubai. Immunity IV drips, looking after my health, getting more sleep, and just doing my shadow boxing light training, anything that I can manage that isn't going to make me more sick. That's how you kind of deal with that. Same with injury. If you injure a hand, train with the other hand. You injure a leg, train with your arms. You injure your arms, train with your legs. Use it as a time to develop another skill set, another part of your body if you are injured. Now, those other setbacks, going out to a wedding, going to a party, all these sorts of things, I believe it's because your goal is not big enough to give you purpose. You don't have a goal that scares you enough. And for me, I've been that guy so many times. Just going to the gym is really easy. Just going boxing is really easy. And it's very easy also not to do, because you think, oh, I can't miss a wedding. A lot of people think in their heads, I can't miss a wedding. I can't miss this event. There's so many things you believe you can't miss. Let me just tell you right now, you can miss them if you are big enough on your focus. Now, what it requires for me to remain disciplined is to have a ultimate focus, something like a fight that is coming up. That's what really gives me purpose. That just trumps everything else and makes my life better. Because I have this big goal that scares me, that I really want to achieve. And when these other things come up, I just say to people, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I had one with this fight coming up. My parents want me to go back for my brother's 21st birthday. I love my brother. He's a great guy. He's a great kid. Of course I want to go see my brother. I can't. They tried to make me go to that, try and make me feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about that. I'll call him on his birthday. I'm in fight camp and I say no. Nothing pressures me into doing things that are away from my purpose. And you need a goal like that as a man. If you really want to find purpose, if you really want to feel good, have a goal that big that you say no to everything and you just work on yourself. Also, if you do ever do these things, you have to be super strict. I would recommend staying away from them if they take you off progress. But let's say you go to a wedding, you have to train at the wedding. Don't see it as a blowout. Have a limit on yourself. Okay, I'm going to this thing. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm only having 4 drinks and I'm going to train in the morning. That's what should be happening. There should be nothing taking you away from your purpose for an extended period of time. You shouldn't be going and getting completely fucking bamboozled and then not being able to train for a week. But I understand. I've done it as well. You have to realign as quickly as possible and show back up.
Okay, the last question is just around travel and Thailand specifically.
How to make the most of Bangkok and Thailand when travelling in the new year, going for 2 months. So any advice would be awesome.
How to make the most of it. That depends entirely what you're going for. For me, I don't really like to travel. I like to go places and stay there, which it sounds like you're doing. I've enjoyed travel. I've enjoyed going and doing these things. But in the end, I always feel empty when I actually finish doing them. I'm like, I didn't really grow. Like what did I really achieve by just enjoying myself for 2 months? And it doesn't mean I haven't done it. I absolutely have. But I would have a focus, something that you do, a project on the trip. For me, like 2 months in Thailand would be a fantastic time to document your journey and start making content, which could turn into a personal brand. Maybe you go there and you decide, I think the best thing you could do is go there for 2 months, skip all the fucking tourist shit, skip all the fucking partying, and just go and do a Muay Thai fight. Spend 2 months training to do a Muay Thai fight. It will change your fucking life. It'll change everything about you, the level of discipline that you have, the level of self-respect you have, the level of respect other people have for you. That's what you could go and do. At the same time, actually, like, you're not Muay Thai all day, so you could still go out and see things. But I would try and focus. I would try and build something whilst you're there. There's going to be a lot of time in your life, if you are not successful yet, there's going to be a lot of time in the future where the money is made, the battle's been won, and you need things to do. Travel then. Go and spend time doing tourist shit then. Go and party then. For now, when you're young, you have limited time, finite energy that you have to use to become successful. I would try and angle at those 2 months being a breakout for you. Make those 2 months of travel in Thailand the rest of your life. Build something there that actually helps you sustain this lifestyle for the rest of your life. That would be my advice. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll do one of these every few weeks, so look out on my Instagram stories at JackHopFitness. If you ever want to send me a question, you 100% can. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you want coaching from me on a weekly basis, go and check out the Icon Blueprint down below. If you want one-to-one mentorship, check out the New Elite. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-ow!